Yo, SC, your online singing coach.
Hey everybody, it's your online singing coach back again today with a new Putri Ariani reaction. This is exciting for me because this is such a great song, and I can't picture in my mind how Putri's going to interpret the song. So why wait anymore? Let's just get into it. Oh, this lighting is beautiful.
Highest mountains I have run.
I love what she's wearing.
Through the fields,
She's got some fans.
only to be with you, only to be with you.
Yes. Interestingly, this is starting off a lot like her performance of I Will Always Love You, which was arranged that way for the Whitney Houston version, where there's an a cappella introduction, and then we get into more meatier production in terms of the music track. It's a very powerful, impactful, and brave way to start a song, because you don't have an instrument keeping you on pitch. You also don't have an instrument to cover up any little teeny tiny boo-boos or big ones that might happen when you're nervous, when you're singing live, when there's pressure. There's all kinds of things that can affect your voice. And so it's a bold move to start a cappella like this. And I'm learning more and more just how fearless Putri is. She is going for it. She's going for it all in. And it's so inspiring for me to see that. I also just want to talk about the production value on the visual side here. With that light streaming in, the smoke, her glittering wardrobe, it's so striking to look at too. Just a dark stage, and then she's lit up and she's sparkling, literally, as well as her beautiful voice sparkling in that clear tone. And of course, she's right on pitch. She doesn't sound like she's wavering at all. Just like in her cover of I Will Always Love You, she's taking her time with the pauses between the phrase, which shows she's not wanting to rush through this. She wants to take time and savor and milk every phrase that she's singing. Amazing.
But I still haven't found
Cool.
what I'm looking for.
That was a fun surprise, the high note.
I believe
Simon loves her. You can see that on his face.
kingdom come, then all the colors will bleed into one, bleed into one.
Look at the lighting. Ooh.
But yes, I'm still running. You broke the bonds and you lose a chance. Carry the cross.
Real rich tone.
And my shame, oh my shame. You know I believe.
I love that flip. Wow. Let's keep going, keep going. There's a lot I want to talk about, but I also don't want to interrupt too much. Let's keep going. Look at that train. Oh my gosh.
Found what I'm looking for, but I still haven't found what I'm looking for. But I still haven't found.
Wow. that flip. All right. Yes. So when we condense down singers into two categories, there are singers who have a very pronounced flip into a higher range, whether that's a head voice or a full falsetto. Sometimes we might call it a yodeling sound. And then we have singers who blend through that transition seamlessly. So you don't know where that shift happened. That's usually something we spend a lot of time working on in voice lessons, and it can take years to develop that smooth transition. Some people never develop it, and they use the flip as part of their artistry. Now, what's cool about Putri is that she goes either way with this. She has that blatant flip, which is so cool. I love it when she uses that flip, but when you hear her on these same notes in that belted tone, that's her mixed voice. She is up there in a mixed voice. Let's find out what note that is, by the way. That's an F. Hard note to mix. There's a small percentage of singers who can belt that note, and most of us can only touch that note and get away from it. But she just had to hold that note for the phrasing of this song. And again, it's just fearless. It's a fearless arrangement of this song. Putri was using all her Putri tricks in this performance. The intimate vocals, the gentle, quiet, whispery vocals, the huge belty notes, a few riffs and runs. There was one note where I heard just a little bit of tension. It was just a little bit shaky in terms of the placement. And I just want to be clear that that is not a criticism. She bookended that wobbly note with some killer notes. And voices are created by humans, and humans are humans. So just that little waver on that one note is part of the human experience. It's part of the human vocal experience, especially when, like, imagine the pressure that Putri's under when she's already made such a huge impact. She's kind of thrown down the gauntlet for herself at this very high bar. Like, now she has to come up to that high bar every single time. Man, that's pressure. And it didn't faze her at all. It was amazing. Let's go back to this last little section because there were so many surprises and so many beautiful moments. And yeah, the train of her dress, girl, she is dressed like a star. She is dressed to win. She is in it to win it. And I just love how she is fearlessly moving towards that win. That's the wobbly note. But then she came down onto this riff and this huge, powerful note. And you can see Simon's not thinking at all about that wobbly note. He's just like, wow, she just went up an octave, held that note forever, came down through a fun little riff, had another huge, big, belted, mature, voiced sound, and is taking her sweet time with it. Like she's not in any rush to leave the stage and get out of the pressure cooker that stage represents for so many artists. Great mouth placement. Yes.
What I'm looking
Yeah. Loved how she opened up for that. Love the vibrato here. And A little Putri cry at the end. Yeah, I hope my I Will Always Love You video comes out before this, because I talk a lot about, one, her fearless confidence, and two, Putri's little cry sound that she puts at the end of a lot of her phrases here. So again, that was some classic Putri there at the end. Long held, big, beautiful note, and this little ah at the very end. Standing out from all the judges, she looks amazing.
Putri, I'm actually kind of speechless right now. Honestly, Putri, this is why I still do this job, for moments like this, genuinely.
Wow.
Because that was so beautiful.
What a compliment.
And I do want to thank you too, because, you know, they don't clear their songs, because I understand there's a lot of bands don't clear
oh
their
boy,
songs.
We're talking about clearance. This might be hard for me to clear too. All right, let's keep going.
Don't clear their songs, but they cleared this song for Putri to sing because they saw her audition and they knew how much this would mean to her. And I cannot thank you enough, because I think you've just hopefully changed this girl's life.
Amazing. Oh my gosh. Simon is a huge fan of Putri, and we know what a tough nut Simon is to crack. There's no rhyme or reason with Simon sometimes. Sometimes I totally agree with him. Sometimes I don't get it. Like in the case of Chakra Khan, I still can't believe that Chakra did not advance. And I disagree with the judges on that. He should have continued. But for Putri, these are just huge compliments. One, that she has won Simon over, and two, that U2, one of the greatest rock bands alive, gave permission to use their song, which they don't usually do, because they loved her so much. Wow. And I said this in one of my Putri videos recently. You never know who's watching. Like if I was Putri, like, wow, U2 watched me, and wow, U2 liked me, and wow, U2 liked me enough to let me do their song. That's such an honor. And I absolutely think that Putri deserves it. Okay, let's see what else they had to say.
I don't think I've ever heard something more beautiful in my life.
You sounded so beautiful, and I thought to myself, this is probably what it sounds like when an angel is singing. Literally.
Perfection!
Thank you so much!
Putri,
Sounds like they ran out of time for Howie to really get to say much, but he summed it up. He boiled it down to one pretty good word for her: perfection.
I would like to say thank you so much, Simon, and all the people who supported me. You already changed my life beautifully, and please vote for me. Thank you so much.
See, look at that spice
Good
and
luck
sizzle.
tonight.
I love her spice and sizzle. She expresses gratitude, and she also is like, but don't forget to vote for me. I love that. And yet she said it so sweetly too. Her speaking voice is so much higher and so much sweeter than her singing voice, and she just seems very sweet. So Putri, let's see what happens next for you, my girl. As I said, she looked absolutely stunning, and she was dressed like a winner, and she delivered. And I have to remind myself sometimes about her age. The things she can do with her voice at this age, insane. Not only that, but I just keep seeing her growth. Her growth is happening tremendously. She just every time keeps stepping it up. What I noticed that was different in this video was much more of a loose, relaxed jaw, much more of an open mouth for the big notes, to bring that resonance forward and to let those vocals soar and let the tension that can sometimes happen around any part of the mechanism around our vocal folds. If we have tension, it can make the voice have tension. She seems like she's really working on opening up into a really full mouth placement for singing. So we had some, as Howie said, some lovely Putri perfection, and I just can't wait for the next one. Hope you enjoyed watching this with me. If you did, please be sure to hit subscribe. If you really enjoyed watching this with me, I'm always super thankful when I see the super thanks come in. You can find me on Instagram. If you haven't seen all my Putri videos, check out my Putri playlist. Thanks so much again, and I'll see you next time.